Level 1. The swap. You're 22 years old and you work at a wireless carrier store in a strip mall off the highway. $14 an hour. You've been there 2 years. You activate phones. You transfer data. You explain unlimited plans to people who aren't listening, and you smile at people who walk out without saying thank you. You know the system better than your manager does. You can navigate the back end in your sleep. You can process a SIM swap in 90 seconds. It's the most basic function in the whole system. Every employee learns it on day one. Most of them never think about what it actually means. Your apartment is a one-bedroom with thin walls and a window unit that barely works in July. Rent is $950. Your take-home is around $1,600. After rent, electric, gas, insurance, and the minimum payment on a credit card you maxed out replacing your tires last winter, you have maybe $200 left for food, for everything. $200 doesn't go anywhere. $200 is the distance between surviving and not surviving. You eat cheap. You drive careful. You don't go out. Your social life is the break room and the parking lot after close. You know every camera in the store. You know which ones are real and which are decoys. You know your manager takes lunch at 1:15 and doesn't come back until 2 o'clock. You know the system logs every transaction, but nobody reads the logs unless a customer complains. You know all of this because 2 years of $14 an hour teaches you the building better than any training manual ever could. And then someone finds you. A guy approaches you in the parking lot on a Tuesday after your shift. He's leaning against a car. He's calm. He says his name is Marcus. Marcus tells you he has a way for you to make $300 in 90 seconds. He says all you have to do is your job, the job you already do. Process a SIM swap. Someone will call the store the next day. They'll ask for you by name. They'll say they lost their phone and need their number moved to a new SIM. They'll answer every security question correctly. Your job is to verify the identity and process the swap, just like normal. The only difference is the caller won't be the real account holder. The answers come from a database Marcus bought somewhere you don't want to think about. You know this is wrong. $300 is 2 full shifts. You think about the $200 after bills. You think about the credit card. You tell Marcus you'll think about it. You don't think about it. You already know. The call comes in at 1:30 the next afternoon. Your manager is at lunch. A man calls and asks for you by name. He says he lost his phone. He gives the account holder's name. You pull up the account. You ask the security questions. He answers all of them. Date of birth, last 4 of the social, the PIN. Everything matches. You process the swap. 90 seconds. The system logs it as a customer-requested SIM transfer. Your employee ID is on it, but the request looks completely legitimate. You followed procedure, except you didn't. You knew the caller wasn't the customer. You approved it anyway. Marcus meets you after your shift. $300 cash. He asks how it went. You say it was easy. Marcus smiles and says they're all easy. That's the point. Here's what you don't know yet. There's a part of this that most people who start down this road never see coming, and it's the thing that ends it all. I'll get to that, but first, you need to understand what actually happens in that 30-minute window after you hang up the phone. Level 2. The window. The second the swap processes, the real customer's phone goes dead. No calls, no texts, no data. Their phone becomes a screen that says no service. They restart it. They pull the SIM out and put it back in. They think it's a glitch. It's not a glitch. It's a clock. And the clock just started. Marcus's partner now has the victim's phone number on a new device. Every 2-factor authentication code, every password reset text, every bank verification message routes to that device. He opens the victim's email. Forgot password. The code goes to his phone. He resets the email. Then the bank app. Forgot password. The code goes to his phone. He resets the bank password. He logs in. He transfers the money. The FBI reported that nearly $26 million had been lost to SIM swap attacks in 2024 alone. And the reason the number keeps climbing is that window. That gap between the swap and the moment the victim figures out what happened. Most people waste the first 10 minutes restarting their phone. They waste another 5 asking someone nearby if their signal is out. They waste another 5 on Wi-Fi searching for a carrier outage. By the time they call the carrier from someone else's phone, 20 minutes are gone. Marcus's partner needs 12 minutes from swap to transfer. Marcus changes the deal. Not $300 flat anymore. 10% of the take. The average target has $15,000 to $20,000 sitting in their accounts. Your cut is $1,500 to $2,000 per swap. You do 2 a week, $3,000 to $4,000 a week from the same counter where you explain data plans for $14 an hour. The calls keep coming. Different names, different accounts, same pattern. They call, they ask for you, they answer the questions. You process the swap. 90 seconds. The system sees a legitimate customer request every single time. And then one afternoon, a woman walks into your store. She's maybe 45. Her phone went dead 2 days ago. Someone drained her checking account, $11,000. She's been on hold with her bank all morning. She's been crying. She asks you to check her account. You pull it up. You see the swap in the system. Your employee ID is on it. You look at her and tell her the system shows a customer requested transfer and she should contact the fraud department. She thanks you. She walks out. You go to the bathroom and stand there for 5 minutes. Then you go back to the counter and finish your shift. The 5 minutes in the bathroom is the last time it bothers you. Marcus pays you through a payment app the first 2 times. You tell him to stop. Cash only. The app keeps records. The app has your real name attached to your real bank account. Marcus says good thinking and switches to cash, but those 2 digital payments are already in the system. A receipt that will never disappear. You don't think about it. 2 payments out of dozens. What are the odds anyone checks? The odds are 100%. You just don't know that yet. You start paying off the credit card. You start eating at actual restaurants. You buy clothes that aren't from the clearance rack. You tell your mom you got promoted to assistant manager. She calls your brother. She tells her coworkers. She's proud of you for the first time in years. There is no promotion. There is no assistant manager title. There is a 90-second swap and a 30-minute window and 10% of whatever's on the other side. Level 3. The list. Marcus has a supplier. Someone who sells target lists, names, phone numbers, carrier account details, security question answers, and estimated crypto wallet balances. Research shows that 90% of SIM swap attacks occur without any direct interaction with the victim at all, which is exactly why these lists are so valuable. The targets aren't random anymore, they're crypto holders. People with Bitcoin and Ethereum sitting in exchange accounts secured by nothing more than phone number verification. Crypto is the target because crypto is irreversible. A bank can freeze a wire transfer. A bank can call another bank and claw the money back. After conducting the swap, the crew intercepts multi-factor authentication codes and uses them to access cryptocurrency accounts. And once that Bitcoin moves, it's gone. No bank to call, no chargeback. No undo button. The blockchain doesn't care who pressed send. The targets go from $20,000 to $200,000. A single swap can net $100,000 in Bitcoin. Your 10% is $10,000 for 90 seconds of approving a phone call. The math has stopped doing something to your brain. The math has replaced your brain. Marcus recruits 2 more employees at 2 different carriers, 3 insiders, 3 carriers, 3 cities. You're the original. You train the other 2. You teach them to approve the calls. You teach them to stay calm after. You teach them to finish their shift like nothing happened, because on camera, nothing did happen. A phone call came in. A SIM swap was requested. It was processed. That's all the system shows. The operation hits $60,000 to $80,000 a week. Your cut is around $8,000. You're 22, and you make more than the district manager of the carrier you work for. The district manager has a business degree and 12 years of experience. You have an employee login and 90 seconds. You move to a nicer apartment, 2 bedrooms. You use the second one as a closet. You buy furniture that doesn't come from a thrift store. You get your car detailed. You buy your mom a 65-inch TV for her birthday. You drive it to her house and set it up yourself. She stands in the living room with her hands over her mouth. She's never had a TV that big. You tell her the store gave you an employee discount. There is no discount. The TV cost $1,100. Your last swap netted $12,000. Your mom watches the news on it every night. She calls you on Sundays to thank you again. Every thank you is a lie she doesn't know she's telling. Now here's the part that nobody who starts this thinks about at level 1. And if you've been watching this far, you already know something is about to break. Stay with me, because this is where it gets real. If you're finding this interesting and you want to see more videos like this, hit subscribe and drop a comment telling me which level you think is the point of no return. I read every single one. Level 4. The ping. Every SIM swap leaves a fingerprint, employee ID, terminal number, timestamp, request log, every single one. The system logs it automatically. Nobody checks the logs unless someone complains. People are complaining. In 2024, the FBI investigated 982 SIM swap attacks with losses totaling almost $26 million. That's just the reported ones. The fraud analysts at carriers are looking for patterns, and patterns are exactly what you've been leaving behind. Your employee ID is attached to swap after swap, all of them during your shift, all of them from your terminal, all of them processed while your manager was at lunch. A fraud analyst doesn't need to guess. The pattern is your name. The carrier contacts federal investigators, and here's the thing about federal investigations. They don't move fast because they don't have to. They build. They take their time because time is what makes a case airtight. They pull records from all three carriers. They trace the swap numbers to drained bank accounts and emptied crypto wallets. They interview victims, every single one. With the help of insiders at cell phone stores, these rings drain hundreds of thousands from victims by accessing their accounts through SIM swapping. And investigators know that. They've seen it before. They know exactly where to look. They trace the crypto through the mixer service Marcus used to try to hide the Bitcoin. The mixer wasn't as anonymous as Marcus believed. Nothing digital ever is. The two payment app transfers from months ago, the ones you forgot about, the ones with your real name on them, they're already in a file somewhere with your photo attached. You don't know any of this yet. You're still working your shifts, still wearing the polo, still smiling at customers. The uniform is the access. The employee login is the weapon. And right now, someone in a federal building is building the case with your name at the top of it. Level 5. The door. You don't get arrested at work. That's the thing nobody expects. They don't come to the store. They don't make a scene. You leave your shift on a Thursday evening, walk to your car in the same parking lot where Marcus first approached you, and there are two people waiting. They show credentials. They ask you to come with them. You go. Federal indictments for SIM swap conspiracies carry serious weight. Wire fraud, conspiracy, aggravated identity theft. The charges stack. Prosecutors allege conspirators steal hundreds of thousands from victims via SIM swapping attacks that divert mobile phone calls and text messages to devices they control. And the sentences reflect that. Federal judges have handed down 10-year sentences and ordered tens of millions in restitution to victims. In another case, a man was sentenced to 70 months in federal prison and ordered to pay over $1.7 million in restitution. The restitution is the part nobody thinks about at level 1. The sentence ends. The restitution follows you out the door. You owe the victims, every single one. And because the crypto is gone, and the cash is spent, and the 65-inch TV is sitting in your mom's living room, you have nothing to pay it with. So you pay it for years, decades, long after the sentence is served. At the sentencing hearing, one of the victims reads a statement. These weren't just digital numbers on a screen, they say. They represented my family's savings, our future security, our dreams. I had planned to use that money to build a stable future for my child, their education, our home, our peace of mind. In an instant, it was all gone. You sit there and you listen, and you think about the 5 minutes in the bathroom, the last time it bothered you. You think about how easy it got, how the 90 seconds started to feel like nothing, how the window felt like a system you'd figured out instead of a person's life you were erasing. You think about your mom watching the news on that TV every night, calling you on Sundays, still proud of the promotion that never happened. Level 6. After. This is the level nobody talks about because there's nothing flashy here. No swaps, no cash, no Marcus. Just a federal record that follows every job application, every background check, every apartment lease for the rest of your life. The carriers you worked for have tightened their verification systems. Telecom companies have tightened security, but social engineering and insider threats are still the easiest route in, which is exactly why investigators keep watching. The industry learned from people like you. The 2 Venmo payments. That's what they used to connect you to Marcus. 2 payments, out of dozens. You told yourself the odds were too low for anyone to check. The odds were never low. You were just too deep in the math to see it. Here's what actually happened from the beginning of this story to right now. You started with $200 left after bills and a window unit that didn't cool. You wanted a way out of that. That part is completely understandable. The way out you chose was built on 90 seconds of access that wasn't yours to give and a 30-minute window that belonged to someone else's life. The operation scaled because the system made it easy. The system also made it impossible to disappear. Every level felt like a promotion. Level 1 was $300. Level 2 was a percentage. Level 3 was crypto targets and $8,000 a week. Level 4 was the investigation you didn't know existed. Level 5 was the door. And level 6 is just time to pay it back. Time to rebuild something with your actual name on it instead of someone else's account. The thing about SIM swapping that nobody explains clearly is that the crime isn't technical. It's not hacking in the way most people picture hacking. It's a social engineering attack where a criminal convinces a mobile carrier to transfer a victim's phone number to a new SIM card, and once the swap is complete, the attacker's phone receives all calls and texts, including one-time passcodes, password reset links, and MFA tokens. The weapon was always the trust built into the system, and the insider is the one who breaks it. You were the door. Marcus was what walked through it, but the door is the one that gets charged. If this video made you think differently about how something as simple as your phone number sits at the center of your entire financial life, you're not wrong to feel that way. Drop a comment with which level you think is the point where there's genuinely no going back. I want to know where you land on that, and if you want to see more videos built exactly like this one, the next one is already up. Go watch it.